Hello friends! Hope you're all staying healthy and happy at home or whatever you have to do now that things are different. It's me, Poison Candy, and I thought I could just share a little makeup tutorial with you guys today. I'll just show you how I do my stage face. Poison Candy has like some pretty classic goth makeup. Got the white face, black, red, kind of the colors that I like to stick to. I'm not sure why, they just speak to me. I'm gonna start off with a white base. Oh, and I don't want to get it all over this, so I'm gonna take it off. Just wanted to look a little fancy for you guys. I used to use like a children's white face paint called Snazzaroo. You can find that at most craft stores. There's also this one. It's kind of like a little pan and you just get a sponge wet and just boop, 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 dab it on. This one, and this is awesome. I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. This is the Manic Panic Dream Tone, and if you are gonna be goth more than once or twice a year, I recommend getting this because it just goes on really nice. You can add it to your own foundation if you just want like an ashier, more like sullen look. Now, I just kind of use the back of my hand. I know a lot of people have fancy little plates, but I have to pack super minimal when we go on tour, so I just use the back of my hand and then wash my hands. And then, oh, there we go. So I'm just gonna like squirt on a little bit. And I'm gonna take a sponge. This is one of those like fancy little beauty blenders. And I'm just gonna start kind of dabbing around like that. Okay, so I've got close to an even base. It's not perfect. Some of the spots were lifting a little bit, and that does happen if you're not patient and you keep going over and over the same spot. So I'll let you know it is handy to have one of these and just kind of give it a little dry down before you kind of go back in and try to get it even, because you want it nice and even. I'm used to seeing this in the sunlight, so even though it's actually like an overcast day, it's kind of perfect. It's like raining, there's a little lightning, a little thunder, so if you hear a little like that's just some thunder. If you have trouble, like if it gets a little patchy, you can wait until it's dry and then just kind of use the warmth of your fingers to gently blend it a little bit, and that can help make it a little softer because sometimes it can look pretty patchy. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is this is a pretty flat face, so I'm gonna like kind of do a little bit of contouring in here. I'm gonna use my super well loved Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. You can see I've gone beyond pan on most of them, so and for this, I'm just gonna make sure there's no pink in my blush brush because I don't want that. I'm using this little kind of like floofy blush brush. So I'm going from like my ear, kind of like trying to follow my cheekbone. So kind of like you can use the end of your brush and just kind of like, you know, make that line if you're not sure. And then kind of like push it into the makeup a little bit. Okay, and this is still kind of warm, so if you want, you can even just use like a gray eyeshadow. That works too. If you're going for that really like dead look. Like an old ghoul. All right. And I'm also gonna do under here. If you don't like your jawline, you can just draw a new one. It's great. Cool. And if you want to take like a smaller eyeshadow brush, this is a Morph brush that I got. It's really nice. I like it. And then you can just kind of go from in here down your nose just a little bit. That one you don't want too obvious. At least I don't. There, I've got a little bit of a nose shape there. And if you like overdo it in any area, you can pick up like the makeup sponge you were using before and just kind of gently dab it around and see if you can like blend that out a little bit. Now, I'm gonna start in on like the most important part for me, which is like the eyes, because you know the eyes are the window to your black little soul. So, okay, I brought out 2 palettes with me. I have the Alyssa Edwards from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Anastasia. And this is like my all-time favorite. It's the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star. And as you can see, if you like red, it's like the only one you'll ever really need. I'm not being paid to say that. I just really love it. And I really like this one. And it has a lot of colors, but this black is like the blackest black. It's so good. Okay, so I usually like to do like light on the inside and then a little darker out towards the edges. And actually I'm gonna run a little white just like in a few of the highlight places. So just like a little down my nose. A little there. Okay, I'm gonna do like maybe a red, and because Poison Candy really just kind of sticks to red and black, so typically tend to just go with that, and then it's easier too for bringing it onto her. Get a nice bright red and kind of start out here. And if you want, if you're not sure where your eyeshadow should go, you can use your brush again and kind of just like that is it's a pretty good marker. And some people even use tape. If you have a like white face paint on, you probably don't want to use that because it'll come off. So I'm just kind of like pushing it in and doing like little circular motions to try and get it to stick down. And as you can see, this is a really nice red. I'm gonna get like a darker red kind of in the crease a little bit. Like a dark purple. Kind of press it. Blood. You don't want all of the little like bits falling all over your face. If that happens, you can like take your finger and do this and knock out like the extra dust. Or you can just blow on it. And then you don't want to like sweep it so much, just kind of press it in. Alright, getting nice and red. Okay, so I got some eyeshadow in my eye and it kind of just started to water all over the place. So I had to just go fix that up. So if that does happen, be careful. Don't just like go all like hog wild. when you're pressing it in there. But if it does happen, because it does happen, just, you know, mop it up, just dab it lightly, and then just sort of kind of touch up the white where you messed up, because life happens. So now I'm gonna take an even smaller brush. I don't remember which one this is, but I've had it for a while. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of buff this out just a little bit, just blend it nice and soft. Let's do this again without getting it right in there. I'm gonna use a super tiny brush for that. I think it's actually a lip liner. So I'm gonna just like clean the red out of my brush and then go back in with a little white, just in the corners, and just kind of pat it out a little bit onto the lid. Just to get a little shape back. There we go. Ooh. Now I'm gonna get into a little bit of this black in the Alyssa Edwards. And I think I'm gonna switch to an angled brush for that and just go for a nice crease look. And if you can't afford like a whole makeup palette, don't worry. There's a lot of affordable, decent black eyeshadows out there. But you're just looking for one that like actually looks black when it's on, because sometimes they just look gray and they smudge, and dark colors are really hard to blend. So if you're having a hard time blending your dark colors, don't worry, it is a thing. There. Okay, so it's a little choppy, but I'm just gonna take that soft like blender brush again and just kind of blend it in. So just blend the edges. There we go, it's coming together. One thing I usually like to do is put something, just a little something on my cheek over here. Whether it's a little cross, or a little upside down cross, or a heart, I'd really like to find a little bat stamp. I should make that. Would you guys want that if I made that? Because I think a little bat would be really cute. Sometimes I pull a little red shadow down here just to make it look like, I don't know, just to draw a little attention to it. And I get a little bit of that red, and I'm just gonna put a little, there we go, just a little spot. We're gonna put a little heart in there. I like the heart. Because, you know, Poison Candy, she's like a little scary, but she's also sweet. I'm going to take that blush brush that we were using for the contour before and just get a little bit of red shadow and just put a little bit. Just really light. Bring it up a little bit. There we go. I've got like a big poofy brush just to like buff it out. So, one cool tip that I have, if you are like me, you have sensitive eyes and you do get a little makeup in your eyes, is like a Q-tip with some eye drops on it just so it's damp, and then you can just kind of gently like run it along the inside there and just kind of turn it to get the eyeshadow out. There, got it out. Can't know if you can even see that. Gross. Now, I do like to usually use some glitter, because like when you're on stage the lights are everywhere, so some glitter is pretty fun to look at. So I'm gonna take this really cool liquid eyeshadow that I got, and it is from a really cool Korean brand called Tony Moly, and just look at the packaging. Like, it's just the coolest. I love it. It looks like a little ink jar, but it's actually like really intense silver glitter. It's really cool. And I've seen now a lot of like people are into this like glitter in here, so I'm sure you can find something just like this. Got a nice little shine on there, some sparkles. Pretty good. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the liquid eyeliner, and that part's gonna take some concentration. It always does. That is always the like hold your breath moment. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go with, okay, so I've got that Kat Von D tattoo liner. I don't know if you can see that there. It's pretty good, but honestly I'm gonna recommend the Stila liquid eyeliner. It's awesome and it stays put. My eyes water sometimes, and of course on stage you like actually sweat a lot more than you might think, and it stays put, honey. It stays put. This is good too though, and I found it on sale and I was like, oh awesome, I'm gonna buy that. All right, so let's see if I can not fuck this up, not screw this up. So I'm gonna like start on the inside really gently, and then just kind of like try to follow the actual like contour of your eye. And if it helps, you can make a little line down here first, kind of like boop, to see like where you're gonna go, and just kind of meet up with that. Alright, so we got some liner on. I usually do like one out kind of following the shadow and then out past it. So you got like a nice smoky eye and then a nice defined line. And then sometimes I'll do a couple more underneath to kind of be like eyelashes. Alright, there we go. Got like a kind of a goth magical girl look going on. All right, now I just need some eyebrows, because I'm not sure if you noticed at the beginning of the video, and you can still see it, but I don't have much left for actual eyebrows. They were mainly claimed by the 90s when like razor thin eyebrows were really trendy, and I had just like the one hair going on. You know, just so thin, just a thin arch. So from here back, they don't really grow in anymore, but that's okay because then I can draw them wherever I want. So again, I'm gonna use some Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow cream? I'm not sure. It's the one with the little spoolie brush. And this is just a sample size because I was just trying it out, but it's awesome. I totally recommend it. And I don't want to do like fully black eyebrows because they're a little harsh looking, although if you can pull it off, very nice. So I'm just kind of filling in the little tufts that I still have. There, and then try to find like the high point. So just kind of trying to make a shape out of your eyebrows, whatever they are like. And if you don't like them, you can always rip them all out and draw on ones that you like. Okay, I'm gonna use the eyebrow brush that came with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, which is also really good, but I find this stuff stays just a little bit longer, at least on my skin. I'm not sure if that's because of like it being dry or oily. I'm not super sure. So I'm just smoothing out the shape. Okay, now since this little spoolie is impossible to make like a nice line with, I'm just gonna get as much product on the brush as I can. And then I'm gonna use this little tip and just sort of load it up. and then kind of carry from this line into like the little pointy part. There we go. I still like the tails of my eyebrows to be really thin. I am not on this big thick eyebrow trend. Although if you have big thick eyebrows, I probably love them. Now if you accidentally get way too much on, you just grab a little Q-tip and pick it up, get it out of there. Brush it out a little bit. Now, if you can't get your eyebrows to match perfectly, that's okay, because I was once told that they are sisters, not twins, so it's okay if they don't look the same. It's alright. Just gonna clean up the edges a little bit. But I don't want to do it too much, because you don't want to like scrape off all the white that you already put down like way before. When I'm on stage, this is a necessity, because otherwise you need them to make your eyes just really pop. Big eyelashes. You do not have to wear these. They can be a pain in the butt, but they are a bit of a must. One thing to know about fake eyelashes, if you wear them sometimes, like not that often, and you always find that they're poking or stabbing your eyes, you probably just have to trim them, because they come, like, people have all different size eyes, so they come like with a little extra, so you can trim it off. Hold them in some tweezers, get my little scissors, and just kind of count 1, 2, 3. And I'm just gonna, there you go, just chop it off there. All right. Please don't judge my glue. It's old, it's seen a lot, but I use this one, and I use the one that it's black, so it'll blend in with your eyeliner, because there's nothing worse than getting all this black on there and then having just some shiny, chunky white eyelash glue just hanging out. Terrible. So I'm just gonna hold it with some tweezers and then put the glue on. Now I'm just gonna let the glue dry for a little bit, because if you just like go try to put it on right away, it's just gonna like wet glue everywhere, honey, just everywhere. Sticky mess, trust me, been there many times. All right. Now, being really careful, I usually just take the tweezers and just kind of pinch it down around the eyelash, but be really careful. You do not want to like pinch your skin. There. Then you'll have a nice secure eyelash. I remember, this is actually a good story. I haven't told any stories yet. Okay, this is a good story. One summer, it was like the hottest summer ever. And we were playing a show in a little kind of part basement-y little club called the Night Owl in Calgary, Alberta. And it was so hot. Like, it was just so sweaty hot in this club. It was the hottest summer and the hottest night, and we played our show and it was so fun. And then I got off the stage and I went to the bathroom, and my eyelash had melted from my eye all the way to about here, and it was just sitting on the bridge of my nose. And I was like, oh great, so there she is, friends. So my SD card cut out before I could finish my lipstick. Was the only part I didn't get to. So I just wanted to let you know what I'm using. And I just started using this Sugar Pill. It's an amazing company. I don't know if you know much about makeup companies, but a lot of them are really cutthroat. And this girl has been around for a pretty long time, and she's a sweetheart. She's one of the only sweethearts in the makeup game. So if you want to support Sugar Pill, it's amazing makeup. and like a great company. Oh, and bonus, it stays. And it smells like creamsicles, so you really can't do any better than that. All right, so, oh, I also got into costume. That makes a bit of a difference. Got my little headpiece. This is the last one I made. Cool tip. This is, actually it's not a tip. Don't do this. But I found this in an abandoned house that I was exploring. And don't worry, I cleaned it. I sanitized it. And then I made this cool headpiece out of it. So, question though, if you know what animal this is, just let us know, because I have a few theories going on and I'd like to know what you think. And also, don't forget about the giveaway. We've got these extra CDs and they need a home. So if you want to win some, just share with me in the comments your cool makeup or your cool outfit, and you will be entered to win. It's a random draw, so just post a picture to enter the draw, and then we'll pick someone at random. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe a couple. We'll see. And yeah, so I hope we get to see you guys soon. I miss playing shows for all of you. I know the whole band does. And I hope that you're all able to stay home as much as possible and flatten that darn curve. And then we can see each other soon. Happy, healthy, and spooky. Okay. Mwah!